All right. Good night, good night, good night. How y'all doing? We are here once again. We're gonna have a good time tonight, have a little conversation. As always, as you come in, go ahead and tag some folks. You know what? Let me go ahead and make sure I'm the first to tag some people. Okay. Just like yeah, we just gonna bring some folk to me, tag some folk, invite them on here. We just gonna have a little conversation tonight. How important is money? That's what we're talking about. How important is money? All right. Of course, we're going to go from just different aspects of it, but we just really want to have this conversation tonight. Just really figure out how important is money, because you have some people that say, okay, well, money's not a big deal. We got some folk that say it's everything. Like, I want to know to most of you, like, where do you fall on that? You know what I mean? Like, how, like, sincerely, how important is it? So go ahead and tag some folks. Go ahead and like the video as you come in. No problem with that. And share with some people. Let's see if we can get some ideas as to how important money is to us. All right. Like I said, thank you, those of you that are already joining me. When you come in, just say what's up, say hi. You know what I mean? Let me know you're here. And go ahead and tag some folks. Make sure that you share the video as you come in. Okay, so I had an interesting conversation with a, let me get this music down. Hey Google, turn volume to 5. Okay, all right. Sometimes you just gotta, tell Google to calm down. Okay, so I had an interesting conversation, actually Sunday, with the young lady, and hey, Kiel, how you doing? Did you share the video? Make sure that you share the video. Simone, Kiel, Miss Julian, what's going on, baby love? You all right? Anywho, so like I said, I had an interesting conversation with somebody on Sunday, and they were just basically talking about, they were talking about how, just finances kind of messed up their relationship with what they had going on. And, when you talk to different people, money is ranked at different levels for most people. For some people, it's everything. I saw a post today. The young lady was like, why is it that men keep trying to go after women outside of their tax bracket? And that was an interesting question. And it's actually a question that I want to answer for y'all. I don't want to forget, but the question of why do men go after women outside their tax bracket is an interesting one, because then now it's really a situation of like, how do you know what tax bracket is? How, how important is that to men? How is it important to women? Let me say this: for a man, finances is a fluid thing. If you take the average male is interested in making enough money just basically to live the life that he personally is willing to live. There's a picture that's going around on social media. A picture going around on social media, and what it is basically, I think it's like it's a room. It's a living room, obviously a living room, but it has just one couch, and it has a TV that's basically on the floor, and beside the TV is a PlayStation. And I believe I believe a female created the meme, but basically said, it is kind of, disparaging remark that, men think that's okay. Men think that's okay. It's okay to just have a TV on the floor and a PlayStation. And that's all that was in the room. Just a couch, a TV on the floor, and a PlayStation. That's really it. And, like I said, it was like men think that's okay. We do. We kind of we do think that's okay. And I'm going to tell you why. But a male individual commented on that post, and basically what they said was it boggles women's minds how little men need to be happy. And it's the truth. Men don't need a lot to be happy. So when you talk about the importance of money, I think from a male standpoint, and I definitely would like to hear from the ladies. If there are any ladies that's willing to come on, just let me know. Hit the invite button and come on if you can. But from a man's standpoint, what it takes to actually make us happy is not much. But, however, I will say that given the environment that we are raised in, it is kind of understood by most men that you are going to need to generate a certain amount of money if you are going to attract the interest of a young lady. How true that is, we're gonna talk about that tonight. How true that is, we're going to really talk about. So my first question to those of you, like, when it comes to selecting a mate or a potential mate, whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case is, when it comes to a potential mate, how important is finances? There's a saying that says no romance without finance. There's another saying that says ain't nothing going on but the rent. All right. So that's the first question, and go ahead and comment on that. How important is finances when it comes to selecting a potential mate? All right. Quick question: is the music all right? Yeah, I want to drown out what we're talking about. All right. So no, but that was a question. Y'all go ahead and answer me. How important is finances when it comes to selecting a mate? All right. So here is some basic. Hello, Michelle. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. The question of the evening, if you didn't catch it, how important is finances when it comes to selecting a potential mate? All right. So here is some financial literacy is important. Okay. All right. And Ms. Habishev said, if you don't have it, you need to have potential to get it. I like that. Okay. So Shay, you say financial literacy is important. Let me know if you're willing to come on and explain that a little bit for me. Just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Hello, Yanika. All right. You say financial literacy is important. So you're saying that he doesn't necessarily have to have money, but he needs to know about money? Because I know some folk that are very smart when it comes to expressing their knowledge on money, but they ain't got none. So you telling me that is that what you're saying is okay? And like I said, if anybody wants to come on and want to talk about it, please go ahead, come on here and let's talk about it. Ms. Antonia said, if you don't have it, you need to have potential to get it. But then again, I mean, Tia, doesn't everybody have potential to get money? Like aside from an individual who might be homeless or whatever the case, but even them, like everybody has potential to get money. So if it's a potential? What do you consider potential to get money? I need a little bit more information here, ladies. All right. Kiel says personal. Okay, I guess for her, it's not a top 10, but not top 5. But he should have something going on. What is something? All right. So let's look at some numbers here, right? There's an individual online, and he talks about a high value man. He talks about a high value man as an individual makes around $120,000 a month, right? Now, so many people come on his show and they talk about they want a high value man, want a high value man. So many ladies come on and talk about want a high value man. However, let's look at some numbers here. And Zania said, before we get into numbers, she says, everyone doesn't. Your drive has to match your mouth. Okay. Not just potentially running your mouth. Okay. So, but at what age is that not enough though? Because I can understand like a 20-year-old, even maybe a 30-year-old not, having drive or whatever the case is. But then at what age is that not enough? Shay says, the practice of financial literacy is important. The ability to handle what you're given. I'm in my 30s, about to be mid-30s. I cannot bank on potential. I need to know that you're able to financially take care of yourself without my help. Okay, all right. So he needs to be able to stand on his own 2 feet. So you're telling me that a guy that is working at, say, McDonald's, for instance, for you, Shay, I'm talking specifically, say a guy that's working at McDonald's, he can support himself working at McDonald's. You're saying that you're good with that. Is that what you're saying? Let me know. All right. He doesn't have to have money initially. However, he should have the potential. Meaning employed and educated enough where we can build a business together. Okay. And then once again, like how old is that not enough? You know what I mean? At what point does that cut off, or is that just an overall situation? He should have a job, some type of savings, be money wise to some point. Okay. All right. Be money wise to some point. Okay. All right. No problem. So ladies, so basically what you're saying is that as long as he got money, some kind of money, it don't have to be a lot of money. It could be a little bit of money, but as long as he got some kind of money, then you're good to go. Is that what we're saying? He don't need to make 6 figures. He doesn't need to. He just have to have some kind of money, basically take care of himself. Is that what you're saying? All right. Ladies showing a lot of love to the ladies tonight. Okay, that's the problem. We don't need to look for a man to support us. He is supposed to add to what you have. He's supposed to add to what you have. Okay, all right, I like that. Shari just said no. I don't know what the no is for. I don't know what the no is for. You got to add a little bit to the no. All right, so I don't know what you do as long as you're enjoying it. I don't care. I don't know what you, okay. As long as you're enjoying it, you're progressing and take care of himself. Live comfortably. If he works at McDonald's, managerial position, cool. In reality, we need multiple streams of income to live comfortably in South Florida, to be honest. But that's, again, I think the living comfortably is subjective, though. Because once again, what it takes for me to live comfortably versus what it takes for you to live comfortably might be 2 completely different situations. You know what I mean? Like I said, most men, if they got a bed, somewhere to sleep, and somewhere to plug in their PlayStation, they feel all right. You know what I mean? Sharon says no to a little bit of money being enough. She ain't about that life. Ain't no little bit of money. You got to have a lot of bit of money to be with Shari. You can't come through. Okay, but here's just basic statistics, right? Basic statistics. there are 36 million Black Americans in this country, right? Number might be a little bit higher now. These statistics are about a year old. But a year ago, there were 36 million Black Americans in this country, and the median Black income, as far as for a male, it's gonna sound off to you, but the median income for a male, and we're talking about median income for a male is somewhere around $25,000, right? It's about $25,000. $25,000 is the median income for a Black male in this country, meaning that most of the Black men, they make somewhere around $25,000 a year, right? Now, Shari says Black women need to stop settling for just enough. Okay, but once again, subjective. What is just enough? What is enough? How much is enough? Are you were Facebook dating? How much is enough? How much money is enough for this man to be a potential? That's what we want to know. That's what brothers want to know. How much do we need to bring to the table? Because if I'm bringing the average salary of a Black male at 25 grand a year, average, that I know, like I said, we like the six-figure talk, but the fact of the matter is that most Black males in this country are not making six figures. A six-figure earner in America, as far as Black men are concerned, is only 8% of them. All right. Kiel says, I think first thing is both of us learning about money management. If he has knowledge to put in work, he should be good. Simone says he should be able to take care of a family if he has one, with a career or trade enough to support his family. Okay, so he should be able to take care of family if he has one. So he has to bring in enough money to take care of a family. Okay, so once again, if we're talking about household income, right? Hold on. I'm getting some statistics for y'all, just so we know that we're on the same page, all right? Now, the median weekly earning of an American, or just average American, weekly is $984 a week, all right? Now, when you talk about Black Americans, that number drops significantly, right? When you talk about Black Americans, median earnings is about $792. So it's almost $200. It's about $200 less than the average American. So that's just Black Americans. Period. Let me see. For the Black man, it's about $810. Right. So, like I said, it's just how much is enough. Antoinette said enough to pay all the bills. So he got to pay all the bills. You ain't paying no bills, is what you saying. All right. Shari says enough to pay the bills, lock some money away, and provide his family with the things to enhance all of our lives. So you need a guy with money, ma'am. Okay. Bring your best to the table, and I believe if her drive is stronger than his, it will push him to go harder. You can't ask for what you don't have. Some of these women want what they can't even do for themselves. And that's the thing. A lot of times you do have a lot of women that want something that they've never produced themselves. They've never really seen it. Like I said, you have a lot of women that want six-figure earners. They've never made six figures in their life. But let's look at it this way as well. Like, hey Google, turn volume to 3. You wildin'. All right, so let's look at it this way as well, though, because once again, you have an average income of $25,000. Even if you find a man that is going to bring in, let's say $50,000 a year, right? $50,000 a year is what does that work out to be? Somewhere around 25 a month, to pay all the bills, Antoinette. Just all the bills. That's what we doing. Need to pay all the bills, and according to Shari, not only pay all the bills, but he also, let me go back, I don't want to misquote her. He not only pay all the bills, but he has to be able to save as well. And then he has to provide a certain type of lifestyle for his family that's going to enhance all their lives. So, Internet says she'll pick up the extra. All right. Simone said you should have each other. If I don't have it, he should have it, and vice versa. Here's the thing. Here's one of the things that we got to understand. Once again, I think that a lot of times couple things. Number one, I think a lot of times our expectation of each other, not just woman to man, but our expectation of each other, I think a lot of times is unrealistic. Unrealistic from the standpoint of what's really out there versus what we really want. That's just really the situation. What's really out there versus what you really want. And that's why I think a lot of times we end up being older and single, because we are not in line with what's out there versus what we really want. Darren Davis says equal is non-existent. Antoinette, yeah, you're right. It said, what are the extras? Clothing for the kids, after school activities, birthday parties, etc. Okay, so he pays all the bills and you take care of the lifestyle. Okay. But Shari says she wants a dude that's going to take care of all the lifestyle. And like I said, there's not many men out here that can actually accomplish that. And it's just that's really the situation. Here's the thing. When you're in your 20s, when you are young, Shari says be hypergamous. Get out your dictionaries and your thesauruses, and then you will know what that means. And then once you know what that means, then you can either give her a like or a if you don't give her a like, then depending on what she's talking about. And Shari says, I'm not lit. But see, and that's the thing though, Shari. Here's the thing. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. You're married. I believe. You still married? Well, last time I checked, you was married. I ain't gonna dive into your situation. But whether or not you're married, that's none of my business. Okay, but you say you're not looking though. And see, that's the thing. There's a difference between looking and not looking. Because if you're looking, then you have to understand what your options are. Are you still married? Okay, good. I ain't want to be all in your business. But that's the thing. You're married. And here's the thing. You got married young. So that's a whole different conversation. Right? If I'm not mistaken, you got married in your 20s, correct? And if not, like early 20s. If you don't mind sharing, how old were you when you got married? Right? So when you are younger, when I'm saying you're younger, then when you are younger, then you can be a little bit more hopeful, right? You could be a little bit 28. That's young. What you mean? What you talking about? 28. You still young. You still young at 28. I'm talking about, once you get into them 30s, especially them later 30s, then you have to be a little bit more realistic to what's actually out here. You know what I mean? Like I said, when you're younger, when you are 18, right? When you are 18 going into 23, 18 to 23, 28 is young, Kiel. Because you a little jitterbug when talk about 28 ain't young. Anyways, but when you are 18 going into 23, let's stretch it to 25. Between 18 and 25 is the time when you can really, find a young fella that has potential, and you can build and you can grow with them, right? Now, once you cross over 25 into, let's say, 28, you know what I mean? Then usually you run into somebody who has a little bit more direction. He probably has a decent job around that time, whatever the case is. And if you were able to get married around that time, that's a good time to kind of build and grow and find somebody who's going to, like I said, generate enough income. But when you get into your 30s, then you have to be, like I said, you really have to look at what's really out here. Now, here's the thing. A man generally reaches his peak. A man generally reaches his peak earning. My sound is gone. Y'all can hear me? If you hear me, hit the like button. If you don't hear me, hit the other button. I don't know what other buttons is down there, but hit a button if you can hear me. Just hit a button. There you go. Good buttons. All right. So how do you get someone to be hypergamous with? How do you find someone on the level when you don't know people in that circle? And that's another thing too. Like I said, people marry individuals who are in their circle. People date people that are in their general circle. You cannot expect a certain level of income if you don't roll with a certain level, if you don't roll in that circle. And like I said, it's only 8% of black men that make over $100,000 a year, right? Only 8% of black men make 100,000. 8% in the entire United States makes 100,000 a year. And we're not talking about married men. We're not, like I said, it's not 8% of single men. It's 8% including married men, including gay men, including men that's already in relationships, including men that just are eunuchs. I don't know how many of them are around, but I'm saying my point is that when you're looking at finances, you have to be very realistic as to what is there. And it says date outside your race. It said date outside your race. But that's the thing. Even if you date outside your race, you're still looking at only the numbers don't really get much better when you date outside your race. You're looking at only about 12% of men, period. 8% of black men make that kind of money. But exactly, including them too, Danielle. All right, Simone said, you have to decide what works for your household. He may pay our bills one month, then depending on business, it's slow, so I pick up more. See, Simone willing to work with a brother. Shari says you got to expand your circle, but that is a little bit more difficult than you would think. I personally, I'm trying to expand my circle, and it's not the easiest thing to do, because at the end of the day, if you're trying to hang out with people that have yachts and you ain't got no yacht, then it's not easy. I promise you. You know what I mean? I think technically it's a little easier for women, but once again, you're talking about between 8 to 12% of all men, period, that make a certain amount of money, right? And like I said, you have to. It includes married men. It includes gay men. It includes bastards. It includes dudes that don't want to get married and they're just looking for a good time, whatever the case is. And they can get it because they have money, right? She said you can't expand your circle if you can't finance that expansion. And that's true too. You gotta be able to make that kind of money. I went to the spot the other day and paid $20 for a drink. And I was like, wait, I never went back. Okay, so I didn't know. You ever order something and then when you get it, you feel some type of way to send it back, so you just had to pay for it? Yeah, but I ain't never went back. Okay, so yeah, it is easier for women to expand your circle, whatever the case is. But once again, what are you expanding to? Here's the thing. Here's the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is money, or ladies, the amount of money that you have is not that important to us as men. That's really going back to that one question. Why do men go after women outside their tax bracket, or why do men go after women that make more money than them, or why do men go after women that obviously need wear red bottom shoes, or why do men go after women that wear purses, Louis Vuitton purses, or whatever the case is, and know that they can't afford those things? Is because your money doesn't really mean much to us. The only time your money becomes an issue for us is if you get it from another man. That's really the only time your money you know what I mean? That's really the only time your money really makes any big difference to us. So the amount of money you make that will not attract or repel a man necessarily, especially if he's not really looking for, you know what I mean? Especially if he's not looking for anything serious or substantial. He especially if he didn't, especially if he doesn't feel like what's not true. Y'all can't just say stuff ain't true and I'm talking and I don't know what you're talking about. What's not true, baby? Unica says, that's not true. I became friends with a lady who owned my daughter's daycare and I've met quite a few people, hanging out with her and meeting new people. I don't need to finance my circle to expand it. She didn't say that you have to, they didn't say it necessarily costs you a lot of money, but if you're going to go in her circle, then she's buying certain things or going to certain places for dinner, you have to be able to finance that, unless she's just extremely generous and pays for everything for you. And then at that point, she's your girlfriend. So, Angela said, the amount of money you make will determine. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. No, the amount of money you make does not deter men from being interested. Amount of money you make will deter a man from getting into a serious relationship. But what I'm talking about is here's the thing. Here's the factor, right? This is what I mean. You go out somewhere, internet. You make a lot of money. You go out somewhere, a guy sees you. He comes up to you. He's going to come up to you and he's going to talk to you. When he talks to you and find out how much you make, it's not going to be something that will pull him away, or will not be something that makes him talk to you more. If, like I said, if you are giving him attention. Here's the thing. It's the perception that deters men. Right? So what I mean by that, I always say your red bottoms are keeping you single. Right? What I mean by your red bottoms keeping you single. Okay, Brother Darren want to come talk. Let's have Brother Darren come talk. He's I'll let him talk about his own finances in a second. You connected? Okay. So let me finish my point. So the thing about it is, when I talk about your red bottoms are keeping you single, a lot of times, like I said, if a guy knows he don't have the money to buy red bottoms and you got on red bottom, then he ain't gonna really necessarily go into that situation. But if you don't have necessarily a specific brand name, or you don't have something that specifically shows that you make a substantial amount of money more than he does, it's not, if he has money, it's not impressive, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Am I right or wrong, Brother Dan? Tell me if I'm right or wrong. They think
you right, and I ain't gonna stay too long. I was in there. I just wanna y'all say it's the amount of money that you make that deters the man. It's not. It's you. It's not the money you make. It's you. It's your attitude and your mental state with the money that you make. Like, most women don't understand. Like, when you when you have that money, most women, I say, well, most women I've run into, I can't say I don't have any statistics, but when you have that money and from the expectations that you guys are saying you expect from this man on this chat, it's not the money, it's you. You deter the
Rolls
man.
the building.
You say what?
I say rolls into the building.
I want y'all, dog. You gotta understand. Like a lot of we blame a lot of stuff, like women, men. You blame. It's most of the time it's you.
Yeah,
A man can go ahead. Go ahead.
it's not the money. Like Daniel said, like a lot of women, like y'all understand, you talk down to men and mistreat them because they don't make as much money as you. And it's just really the fact. See, Danny know what you're talking about. Right? You know what I mean? And the thing is, I love when I love when I say something and people think it's just me saying it. And that's why I appreciate you coming on, Danny. Anybody else want to come on? Danny, I need you to come on and talk to these ladies as well and some of these
Yeah,
fellas.
definitely.
But like I said, it's not your money that's the issue. It's you. It's really what it is. Because here's the thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. Maybe you have a standard and you want dude to have a certain amount of money, whatever, but you're gonna have to be realistic with that thing. You know what I mean? Like your age does make a difference. Like you gotta think like a 28-year-old female who got her finances together versus a 40-year-old female who got her finances together. Like you don't have the same dating value, if you will. You get what I'm saying? Because if you have a brother who's making over $100,000 a year, your money don't phase him one way or the other. And it's just really what it is. But like I said, if a guy talks to you and finds out that you have money, he's not going to stop talking to you if you're paying him the right attention, if you're being nice, if you are accommodating, if you show him still a level of respect. The reason why he don't want to talk to you anymore because you have money. It's not because you have money. It's because you were with it.
Oh,
I was trying to
I
put
mean,
the word, but you didn't want to let
I
me.
know. I
No,
just,
easy.
I wasn't gonna.
So
It's true, man. It's I think like man, like you guys see y'all have a perception and you have a vision, I'm sorry, of what you want in a man, and you have a vision of the lifestyle that you want with this man, and then you want that vision to come true when you find this man, or you want to see that potential vision in the man that you're talking to, and it don't really work like that. You can't just vision outside your circle or vision outside the build.
circle. I
You
said before.
can't vision that. You can't vision that with the man that you can't get. Like, and I'm gonna say, I'm not saying that you can't get him. Yeah, that actually I'm saying you can't get him. And
There you
what I mean by finance, your expansion, it's a lot that goes into that. It's your looks, it's your clothes, it's the way you walk, the way you talk, how you handle yourself in certain situations when you're dealing with a six-figure or and more type of dude. And
go.
you
The
can't just
$70,000 a year type of dude.
you say what?
Even a $75,000 a year type of dude.
Even a 75, like you can't just walk yourself just because you know somebody in that circle or you know somebody that owns it. It don't work like that. You have to be a different person and you have to be a part of that lifestyle on a daily basis
You
in
gotta look.
order to have him look at you and here's the operative word, seriously.
And see, that is the thing. I remember talking to a friend of mine, and she'd be like, "Oh, but I pull dudes though. Anybody can pull a dude. Pulling a dude is easy. That's the easiest thing in the world.
It don't take much.
It don't just a little bit of cleavage, maybe a short skirt. You pulled because we're visual. At the end of the day, if there's a visual to a situation, dude is going to be attracted to that. But to look at you seriously is a whole nother situation, right?
Way out there.
That's exactly it, Daniel. Think about the other women they have access to. You get what I'm saying? Because you got to think now, if I make a certain amount of money and I drive a certain car, I don't care. And funny, I ain't even got to make a certain amount of money. I just got to look like I make a certain amount of money. And I'm going to have a wide spectrum of individuals at my disposal, if so be the case. Now, when it comes to actually who you're going to settle with, which, like I said, older women, y'all not really looking to hang out and go driving. Y'all not really looking to, you know, kick it this weekend or whatever the case is. Y'all looking for something real, something to settle, something to you know, somebody to settle with, and whatever the case is. Like, at the end of the day, you have to be very realistic with what your expectations are of this particular individual, because there are men out here, by the time we get to around 30 something, 35, 36, then we pretty much, most men are pretty much what they're going to be at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's just, and it is just one of those situations. So it's like, for us as men who have money, your money means absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Even if you have more of it, that's not it. It's your attitude. It's the aura that you walk in. You know what I mean? It's the because I said to a friend of mine the other day, she was like, "Oh, she wants a relationship, whatever the case is," and I'm like, you know, she in the house, and I'm like, put on a nice dress, go to where the kind of individual you want reside, hang out, and post up. At the end of the day, that's you know, that if that's what you if that's what you want. But once again, like, you got to look at your competition. You got to look at the taste of these particular individuals. And so that makes me very sad. What makes you sad? Yeah, that's a good question. What makes you sad? Do you evolve like every few years? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you evolve and so on and so forth, but you also get older every few years, Antoinette. Is real out here in these streets. Yeah, and I said not necessarily be sad about, but I think it's something more to understand the market, understand where you are, understand who's out here, and then now you're able to you can make a very good life. I don't know about Shari's life, because as far as Shari's concerned, she ain't paying for nothing. But you can make you can make a solid life out here with a guy that makes 50 grand. You know what I mean? You can make a solid life with a guy that makes 50 grand. It's not gonna be, you know, trips every weekend or whatever the case is, or, you know, like Danny's life where she's, you know, just, you know, living it up, you know, out here. Talk Danny's business. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you can have a decent life with a guy that's making 50 grand a year. You know what I mean? Raise a couple children, you know, take a vacation. Well, a 1 week vacation, because I don't think you can afford a 2 week vacation, 50 grand a year. But you take a nice 1 week vacation every year, and you can live a good life. How about the guy that is only making 36 grand a year, but you know what? He loves you.
Yeah.
He respects you.
He
thinks you're the cream of the crop. You know what I mean? The cat's meow. How about that?
It's a problem, Shane. Why is that a decent life with a man who has 50 grand? Can't that be an amazing life?
I mean, I'm just saying, based on
what y'all need money? Like, y'all ain't got it.
How important is money?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you want this man to have more because you ain't got it. I don't stop. Live your amazing life at 45 and add your 36 or your 55 to his 45 and live that 90 grand life together amazingly.
Like, no, paying for nothing. So you don't depend per 45 out in these streets. They said because they get stuck while we keep evolving. I don't think it's necessarily that we men get stuck. I think it's just we kind of carve out a piece of life. We comfortable.
Happy.
really what it is. You know what I mean? Can the right woman prompt him to more? Yeah, if he loves her, if he really loves,
It,
if she can make something make sense to him,
yeah,
possibly. But
if
once again,
she
I think
can
that'll
make him
hurt,
want you.
especially if he's already carved out a life that where he's cool. Danielle says she can't. Danny says 50K ain't enough. What you mean? Not in Florida. Anyway.
You need to go get a 36K check.
Dennis said, "Love don't fade a He loves you though. he comes home every night because he can't afford to cheat. But he, 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 oh man. Like I said, you know what I mean? It's like, anyway, you guys get comfortable while we want more. As it happened with my dad and stepmom right now. Yeah, but once again, see, that's the thing. We in our 20s is when we want to chase the bag. We got all these dreams. That's in our 20s when we want to be a rapper. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff we want to do in our 20s. Now, Rose says it depends on the guy. Of course, you have 30-something men that's really out here trying to do it. You know what I mean? Like I could say for the two brothers that's on the screen right now, we out here, we talk every day about how to make things better, increase our profile, if you will. You know what I mean? For different reasons. He's a married man. I'm a single man. We want to increase our profile for different reasons. You know what I mean? But we talk about it, and there are other brothers who are willing to talk about it. But once again, even on this call of the men that's trying to make something happen, you already got one that's taken. So I'm the only one left, ladies.
Oh my God.
I'm the only one left. So even here, it's a great representation of the situation that you're faced with. But once again, you got to understand what it is. And I think that's just really the situation. Understand what it is. Shari can say anything she want to say. She married. She booed up. You know what I mean? She got her dude paying all her bills, and she don't pay for nothing. Hear what I say? But
sound like my wife, Lord Jesus.
you know what I mean? And then so that's kind of like Darren's wife. But you made that. She didn't require that. You made that.
I know. I don't remind me. Don't remind me. It's my
Right?
fault.
Yeah, you made that.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Darren White, I'm gonna tell all you business. So Darren White fighting to work. Like, let me go to work. He's like, nah, I want a sandwich. Ain't gonna work. I want a sandwich. But then, Darren, like, of all your friends, how many of them? You know what I mean? No, not all your friends, because your circle. Once again, your circle changed, right?
It changed. It changed. Move just like moving into this life, or moving into this life. It's moving into like a new life. Like you meet different people, you talk to different people, and then you're on a like different scale when you make a certain type of money. And the friends that I did have, they, my friends were single. All my friends was single, like, who, without the, I guess, entrepreneur attitude or mentality. They were single. The women that I knew that were my friends, they didn't have that mentality, and they wanted things that was outside of that mentality, of having that mentality. And they angry, and I had to walk my wife away from them, because they
You because It's a different, once again, it's a different mindset when you're dealing with, depending on who you're dealing with. Like, you can't, here's the thing, you cannot have the same mindset, whether it be male or female, if you're trying to deal with another, you cannot have the same mindset dealing with a 30K life versus a 100K life. It can't be the same mindset. Now, here's the powerful thing. You can have a 100K mindset when you are making 30K.
Oh yeah.
Right? But it's going to take some finagling and making some things happen a little bit differently. You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing. I'm really hoping that that Thomas will get on, Brother Getlin. I hope he can get on because he's been married for a very, very long time. And the question is Cjo, is how important is money? You've been married a very, very long time. How big a role did money play in your union or in the longevity of your marriage? Because he's been married some 40 plus, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, he's holding it down. So anyways, thank you for coming on there, Brother Dan. Appreciate your benevolence. Let's see if we get somebody else who want to say something. But thanks, I appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can make it happen. I don't know if he's gonna come on, but CJ, I really, he ain't coming. All right, so Antoinette says money definitely makes up marriage, but I don't. But once again, it's like how much money? She says money, sex, communication, and religion. Okay, money, sex, communication, and religion make up the bread. Hey, Mary, happy birthday again, girl. Money, sex, communication, and religion. As far as believing the same things. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. But so for those who are just joining onto this talk, and like I said, I would love for some other people to come on and share and say some things. But like, how important is money? Danny, if you want, come on and talk to the folks. If you, well, you ain't never looking toe up, so you can just come on. But how important is money? Now, so I'll comment every day where it talks about money answereth all things. Money definitely is necessary. Don't get me wrong. Money is definitely necessary. Shari says she thought we were going to talk. Oh, sorry. Shari says she thought we were going to talk about investing or something, but this is more interesting. So yeah, no, but yeah, how that's the question we're asking. How important is money when we're talking about relationships? When we talk about just life, because like I said, I believe. For most men, money is important. Money is as important as our desire to attract females for the most part. Now, don't get me wrong; everybody want to live a decent life, but it doesn't take much for us to be happy. Just really a situation. So it's like, if you are like a single person versus married person, the financial requirements are definitely going to be much different. Now, and especially depending on who you are married to. Antoinette says money makes marriage, while Darren, who's actually married, said your mentality makes up the marriage, not the money. And see, that's the thing. And I think, you know, not to be disparaging towards Antoinette's comment, because you know she knows what she's talking about. It's not she doesn't know what she's talking about, but I think that the mentality is going to be different. I think the mentality is different when you are young and single, when you are older and single, when you are young and married, when you are older and married, when you are young and divorced, when you are older and divorced. I think the viewpoint is going to be different. Darren says the way you view money, sex, and the way you communicate affects your marriage, not the objects themselves. Daniel agrees. Okay. Shari says women need to feel secure. Money often provides that security. So it's fundamental to many in a marriage, to many a marriage. Okay. So, and that's the thing. So question, ladies, is his financial status what makes you feel secure when it comes to a man? Is his financial status what makes you feel secure? Because Shari says here, you need to feel secure. Money does provide that security. So, but she said, Daniel says, not all women have the same wants, desires, that. Of course. But the amount vary. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, so you have an individual, right? He's making $30,000 a year, but he has plans. He's making $36,000 a year. Let's go back to that number. He is making $36,000 a year, but he has plans. He's planning to, get into investing, right? He's planning to invest. He's planning to, get into real estate. He's planning to, a lot of plans that he has to make money. Is that good enough? Is the plan to make money good enough? Or does the money need to be there first? Anthony says, we keep trying to rewrite the wheel. Women need security. But my question is, what does the money, is it money that provides security? You know what I mean? Tay says money alone cannot provide security. Danny says he can have money but sucks at managing. True. Addictive, destructive behavior need more than money. Monica says, so he has potential. That's what I'm saying. Like, he makes 36 a year. He's in his 30s, late 30s, makes 36 a year, but he got plans. He got plans. He's in the studio grinding it out. That hot album about to drop, and y'all gonna be millionaires. All right, Yanika says, financial status provides some security. However, a woman also wants to feel emotionally secure as well. That is beautiful. That is beautiful that you want to feel emotionally secure. I'm with that. I'm with the emotional security. I'm all about the emotional security. You want some emotional security? I got you. Just don't ask me for that. All right, so what is a huge part? That'll provide basic needs: roof, food, water, clothing. Monica said everyone has plans. What is he actively doing? Potential does not build generational wealth. And that's the thing. Like, okay, so what about just generational paying the bills? Wealth? Well, does it have to be wealth? You know what I mean? It's like, and that's the thing, like, here's certain, like, there's certain keywords that we are throwing out real willy-nilly these days. Some like generational wealth. I hear that a lot. I hear it in churches. In order to generate generational wealth, all you gotta do is pay tithes. Pay tithes, generational wealth is coming. That's foolishness, by the way, just so you know. Paying tithes doesn't give you generational wealth. What paying tithes does, it actually makes your life better emotionally. It's tied to your, it's tied to your happiness. Anyways, but so pay tithes, you get generational wealth. We hear a lot of MLMs talk about, multi-level marketing companies talk about generational wealth. We hear about passive income and so on and so forth, generating generational wealth. But like, what does that actually mean? And can you generate generational wealth in one generation? It's extremely difficult to do, just so you know. So yeah, like I said, we have these words that we push out, you know what I mean? Generational wealth. We have the whole six-figure situation where we want folk that make six figures with only 15% of the entire United States. Men, women, white women, everybody make only 50% make 100,000. And for some reason, you feel at 40 that you're going to snag one of them. I don't get that thought process. Anyways, she said, look at Maslow hierarchy of needs. Our basic needs need to be satisfied first before the self-actualization and emotional stuff. Those things that come after our basic needs are, those things come after our basic needs are met first. Yeah, seek ye first kingdom of God. Seek ye first your basic needs, and then all these other things will be added. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, But that's what I'm saying. It's like, once again, let's go back to the 50s, right? You go back to the 50s. What was happening is that you had this individual who would go out. You had the families where the man would go out and he would work, and the woman would stay home. She would hold down the situation. Now that means, however, when he came home, he did not have to help with homework. He did not have to change diapers. He did not have to do any of that. He came home. He got himself a drink and a pipe and a newspaper, and that was his evening until it was time for him to go to bed. And see, somewhere down the line, because of certain situations, all that has changed. And, of course, women's lib, which started as a great situation, women wanting equality. We needed that. We needed women to rise up and demand equality. I think women still should rise up and demand equality, because you're still not equal. I'm looking at the wage gap here. And women, y'all make about $200 less a week as men do. So, you still need to demand equality. But here's the key: demand equality of value, not equality of station. Like I said, equality of value, not equality of station. What do I mean by that? Like, we all have the same value. We all should have the same value, right? We all, nobody is better than anybody else, whatever the case is, but we should not be the same. I think that we have moved past what really matters or what is really important. I think what we should be celebrating is our differences as male and female, and not trying to be the same. I think us trying to be the same, or women trying to be the same as men, is destructive. I really do. And I think it's one of those situations where we have to get back to understanding that we're not the same, while maintaining that we are, however, equal. Darren says, Monica says, I don't think in pay the bills mindset. Then what mindset do you think in, my dear? Darren says generational wealth, and they say generational wealth and forget the definition of generational. That's good right there. Keel says, as the only baby on here, I don't like talking about money with a guy until I see how he is with his. Money can sometimes mess up a relationship. I've had dudes tell me, invest in me if you love me. Well, see, here's the thing. I'll keep it funky with you. When it comes to the guy that talks about invest in me if you love me type thing, it's really, honestly, if you are going to be with a man, your support means everything, right? Your support does mean everything. Now, don't get me wrong. You have a lot of dudes out here trying to finesse a situation, especially if you were born in the 80s, you a baby out here. No, you have a lot of men that's trying to finesse the situation, especially if you know what I mean. We know that's not your issue, Kiel, but if like a woman seems to lack confidence in a lot of what she does, or a woman seems desperate, then you have guys that will latch on to you and try to finesse your financial situation to improve his life, or whatever the case is. But on the other hand, I will say that your support of that particular individual means a lot to men. Men need your support, ladies. You know what I mean? It's just really what it is. And like I said, if you dating a dude and he's a rapper, get him some studio time. You know what I mean? Make the dream happen. Make the dream happen. Or if he has a business, find a way to invest in that business. Maybe not necessarily with your money. Like, for instance, I would never date someone who does not promote my life insurance business. That makes no sense to me. If we are together, you have a life insurance business too. You need to support my life insurance business. If we are together, it doesn't make sense to me that you not support what I do if we are together. If you love me, you're going to support me. Not necessarily that you got to pony up some bread, but sometimes it does. It means that as well. Zakia said she did run. So, but okay. So here's the thing: money is important. All right, we money is important for basic needs. Is it me or is it warm in here? It feels kind of warm. Anyways, money is important for basic needs. You gotta have your bread together. You gotta have your money together as far as being able to support your living, your basic living, shelter, food, clothing. That's your basic needs: food, shelter, clothing, and somewhat entertainment. Entertainment doesn't have to cost much, but you know what I mean? It is necessary, right? But then how about some of you need to have work together mentality more so than just he need to have. Darren says that's the biggest thing though. It takes a lot to be with a six-figure man. You got to know how to support and move in all situations, give him peace, hold him up, be the rock that won't get any credit from outside eyes. Exactly. You got to play your part. You got to be smart and play your part, right? If you trying to be with a brother that has six figures, and like I said, watch this thing. It's not even necessary that he necessarily makes six figures, but if he has a six-figure mindset, that potential that y'all are talking about, where he's moving and shaking, trying to make some stuff happen, then you have to be able to support him. You gotta be able to come in on the moves that he's making. If he's trying to do something, like I said, if he's trying to be a rapper, you gotta pass out some flyers. You have to support that situation. You know what I mean? It's just really what it is. And you gotta be his rock. Gotta be his rock. If you are trying to be with a man that is, and not just six, but any progressive man, any progressive male figure, you have to support. This is really what it is. Julie says if you don't have money, no honey, then your honey gonna get stale. That's what's gonna happen. Anyways, I understand what you mean. You should support what's feeding you. Yeah, you gotta support it. You have to support. I think support has to go. Here's the thing: if I'm connected to a woman that has some stuff going on, I am going to do whatever I can to help her situation to prosper. Right? But it's not because of the money she has or doesn't have, but it's just because she's doing something. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do whatever I can to support the situation, to help whatever she got grow. I'm gonna come up with some ideas, some thoughts, share some things, make it happen, whatever the case is, to show support. But like I said, I need that same support with the things that I got going on, and that that and like I said, and so okay, so here's a question: how do we build an empire without money? How do you build an empire without money? Here's the fact of the matter. The real truth is, and I'm gonna tell it to y'all straight. Y'all ain't going to hear it, but I'm gonna tell you to anyways. Not everybody's gonna build an empire. It is really what it is. Not everybody's gonna build an empire. You know what I mean? It's like everybody who's an entrepreneur feels like everybody else should be an entrepreneur. No, everybody's not going to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's not going to be a business owner. Everybody's not going to be self-employed. You got some folk that need, that will have that 9 to 5, that need that 9 to 5, and that's okay, and that should be okay. The problem comes is when you believe that you should be building empires, when really, based on how you move, how you operate, and the kind of individuals you attract, maybe you don't, maybe you just need to build a house. What's wrong with building a house? Why we got to build empires? I mean, I want to build an empire, but I'm just saying, what about the brother that just wants to build a house? Why he can't get no love? Okay, why are some of y'all stopping at 6 figures? Some of you don't make more than 6 figures, or 6 figures the ultimate price here. I would never tell a man that I want to date someone that makes 6 figures, because that shows him that I have a limited mindset. No, the only reason why we use 6 figures, Monica, is because 6 figures is the general number that says that you're financially well off, if you will. Making 6 figures a year means that you are, put it this way, making 6 figures puts you in the top 8% of earners in this entire country. So, you know, the 6 figure is the starting point to rich, if you will. Of course, you can make a lot more money. You know what I mean? There's 7-figure earners, and, you know, you can be even an 8-figure earner. Why not? It's okay not to be equal. It's okay to support if that support is going to help you move in the right direction. Just like we weren't all kings. Exactly. We were not all kings and queens in Africa before slavery. Yeah? And I know, like I said, listen, I understand why. I do understand. I do understand that everybody wants to feel special. And I do understand that everybody wants to feel like they are more than they are. But the fact of the matter is, and it's going to sound harsh, not everybody's special. Some people are regular. And see, the problem comes when you have regular people feeling like they're special. Not everybody can handle an entrepreneur. Being with an entrepreneur is not easy. It's not a simple thing. Being with a business owner is not, like I said, there's a difference, just a little side, there's a difference between a business owner, somebody who's self-employed, and somebody who's entrepreneur. Those are 3 different types of individuals. And neither of them are easy to deal with. And those are the individuals, unfortunately, who usually make decent amount of, you know, over 6 figures or closer to 7 figures. How about that? Monica said, I'm trying to keep up with these comments here. Monica says, how do you build an empire when everybody's building when everybody building is trying to do the same job? Exactly. Not everybody will be an entrepreneur. If everyone was a business owner, then it wouldn't have any employees. It's the same thing like the king, you know, oh, we were kings and queens in Africa before they brought us to this country. Then who were the subjects? Y'all were just kings and queens. Wasn't nobody working for y'all? Wasn't nobody out here, you know, cooking the food? No, just everybody king and queen. And that's the thing. That's the crazy mindset that we have. Like I said, we ought to value ourselves. It is extremely important that you value yourself, but do not be delusional and think that the same value that you put on yourself is the same value that another person puts on you. It's not the same. I know we want to feel as though it's the same, but it really isn't. Like, you know how many women have called me king and treated me like crap? You can't call me king and not treat me like king. You know why? Because you're saying it, but you don't believe it. How many men, ladies, have called you queen, but don't treat you like a queen? Why? Because they're saying it because they heard some idiot tell you that you were kings and queens in Africa, and we can't figure out if we come from Africa or Egypt. Anyways, or we Hebrews and Shebrews out here. But anyways, but we were not all kings. We were not all queens. We just weren't. And so not everybody is going to be on the same level. But don't be delusional and think that, and it's something that I had to learn personally. It really is. It really is something that I had to learn personally, that the value that you put on yourself is not the value you put on another person. I remember talking to a friend of mine, and this is a friend that I have done, in my opinion, so much for. And this is a friend that I felt like, you know what, we were just, the relationship and friendship that we have was just beyond anything else. And whatsoever it is I needed, they should provide, or whatever they needed, I should provide. And it's like I'm expressing that, but then I realized that they didn't think the same way. The level of friendship that I thought or felt like I deserve, they didn't feel like I deserved that level of friendship or relationship. And so the situation where I think that's one big issue where a lot of us, we feel like what we deserve is what other people should think we deserve. And it's just not, it's not facts. It's not the truth. It's not how it works. You may think you deserve a seven-figure dude, but really your attitude and your mindset and just how you carry yourself says that you can handle 36 a year, baby. That's what you can handle. Tay says building a house is okay if both are content with that. Yeah, okay. Darren says, she said, how about the bread business? How many bread companies do you know and they still all make bread? Yeah, they still all make bread, but not every company in the world makes bread. I think that's what he's saying. Personally, a six-figure guy is not that attractive to me. I prefer the six-figure. I prefer to be the six-figure and above earner. What do I need is for him to be doing his own thing, making his own money, because I like to hear baby pack your bags, let's go. Because I like to hear baby pack your bags, let's go. I like to get dressed up and put on some heels. So she's saying she want to make her own money. She want to be her own 6- and 7-figure earner, but dude being able to take her out and so on and so forth. It sure ain't easy being with an entrepreneur. It's not. It's a lot of lonely nights, and you wondering where this dude is, and he out entrepreneuring. It's not easy. It really isn't. Yeah, the bread company have other people doing different jobs. Everybody can't be the owner. Exactly. Everybody can't be the owner. Everybody can't be kings. Everybody can't be entrepreneurs. Everybody can't be business owners. Somebody got to work in the business. You know what I mean? Somebody got to work in the business. Anyways, knowledge of self. That's right. You got to have knowledge of self. This is really what it is. And I think, like I said, a lot of us are living a delusional thought process. And honestly, it's keeping us single because we're delusional. We are delusional. Like I said, a lot of us, we sit in our house and think, the man or the woman of our dreams going to knock on the door. We waiting for Prince Charming to run out of sugar or something. You know what I mean? It's just really what it is. You have to, one of the most powerful things you could ever be. And let me see if I can help somebody on tonight. One of the most powerful things you could ever be is self-aware. That's the most powerful thing you ever be, self-aware. As in being able to look in the mirror, see what's there, and accurately assess what you see. Now, here's the thing. Take me, for instance. I use myself as the guinea pig. Look, when I look in the mirror, I know I'm a handsome guy. I'm a good-looking big dude. And, I always say, you're pretty for a big girl. Why can't just be pretty? Because you know what? The comparison is not, you don't fall into the line to be compared with a skinny girl. The comparison that is going to, people like to group like things. You at 250 is not to be compared with Naomi Campbell. It's not really how that works. You will not compare, what's that girl name? The one that, the big girl always twerking. And she had a booty cheeks out at the basketball game. Lizzo, yeah. You will not compare Lizzo to Beyonce. Now, in an idealistic thought process, in an ideal world, you could say, well, maybe you should, but that's not how it works. That's not how people work. And once again, and this is the crazy thing about the way the world is working right now that just boggles my mind. It boggles my mind that people are trying to change how people just naturally think. You don't, you're not gonna say, when you look at, there are some people that look at a snake and be like, oh, I remember Steve Irwin would pick up a snake, right? And he would say, oh, she's a beauty. He would look at a snake and he would see a beauty. But he's not picking up the snake and comparing it to a koala. I'll let y'all choose who's the snake and who's the koala in this particular illustration, right? So now when I look in the mirror, I'm not comparing myself to Tank or who else y'all think is cute out in these streets? You know, I'm old school, so Genuine and them. That's not who I'm comparing myself to. You get what I'm saying? Because that's not what's in the mirror. And I do understand that being a big guy, I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I do know if you line up a bunch of big guys, I'm about to be in the running, is all I'm saying. That boy is cute if you into big guys. You get what I'm saying? Michael B. Jordan. Okay, fine, Michael B. Jordan. I'm not comparing myself to Michael B. Jordan. You get what I'm saying? Because it's a different category. I'm a big dude. He is not. He can't. If a woman is into big guys, I'm a snatch over Michael. It's just really how it goes. Why? Because that's what she's into. So when I look, I don't see a skinny person. You get what I'm saying? When I look in the mirror, I don't see a skinny person. I'm not living in a world of delusion thinking that I'm a skinny person. No, look, I look in the mirror, I see a handsome big fella. It's just really what it is. You know what I mean? This is really what it is. And so therefore, I'm not going to try to compete. My competition is not Michael B. Jordan. That's not where my competition lies. You get what I'm saying? So why am I saying all this? I'm saying that you have to be able to look in the mirror, see yourself, not just from a superficial level, like I just mentioned, but also you have to be able to see deeper who you really are, what you're really about. Like I look at myself and I know that I'm not a 9-to-5er. I know that. Ain't nothing wrong with 9 to 5 though, because guess what? You are going to be more financially stable if you date a 9-to-5er than if you date me. You know why? Because you know what? The way my money run, I'm balling out today, but then tomorrow I might be a little less ballery. And because of how policies work and so on and so forth, my balleration fluctuates from day to day, if you will. So you can't come into a relationship with me thinking we're going to ball out every day. You get what I'm saying? It's just really a situation. So everybody, you have to understand who you are. If you look in the mirror and you realize you're a 9-to-5er, then you really need to be, it behooves you to try to date a 9-to-5er. If that's who you are, then do that. And here's the thing, just because you're not working doesn't mean you're not a 9-to-5er. Because an entrepreneur or a business, say, okay, so here's the difference between an entrepreneur, self-employed, and business owner. Okay, self-employed just basically means that you make your own schedule. You work, whatever you do for yourself. You make your own schedule. If you work, you make money. If you don't work, you don't make money. That's what self-employed means. If you work, you make money. You don't work, you don't make money. But being self-employed, you have complete autonomy as to whether or not you make money or not for that particular day. That's what self-employed means. In order to be self-employed, you have to be self-motivated. You have to understand the amount of money you want to make and what needs to be done to make that money. So therefore, you get up and you make that money. Just a little, Shari says she wanted some talk about some finances. So let's talk about some finances. If you're self-employed, you got to make that money. That's just really what it is. You figure out how much you want to make and do what is necessary to make that. Because if you don't work, you don't eat. That's self-employed. If you don't work, even though you work for yourself and you make your own schedule, you don't have to go to work any day whatsoever. Nobody tells you what to do, but you still have to have that self-motivation to make the money that you need to make. Now, Self-employed is one thing. Now you go into a business owner. A business owner is an individual who owns a business. Ta-da! They own a business, but the business owner is one that has to work that particular business. You have to work the business, whether you're going to work with. So, for instance, someone, I'm self-employed because I do life insurance. I don't have to go to work every day. But when I go to work, I know I got to make money. I got to have a certain level of discipline in order to make money as a life insurance agent. So I'm self-employed. But I'm also a business owner. I own an event hall at this current junction in time. I've owned a few businesses as we went along. But here's the thing. I have to, when you own a business, you have to make sure that that business is going like it's supposed to go. That's what a business owner does. You have to work that business. So being a business owner, you cannot just leave that business and expect it to operate how you need to operate. You have to have some kind of vested work ethic into that business. Now, an entrepreneur is a person who is self-employed, owns a few businesses, but has the capability to step away from that business for up to 90 days and that business still do what it need to do. That's where I'm aiming for. That's where I would like to get to personally. But once again, in order to date someone like me, you have to be willing to not see me every day. Right? You have to be willing to not see me every day. You have to be willing to have plans canceled on you. You have to be willing to call and maybe not get maybe not get an answer right away. You have to be willing to not hear from me for the entire day because I'm handling businesses. So it's not something, like I said, it's not something for everyone. At 1 o'clock in the morning, your 9-to-5er is sleeping because you got to get to work at 9 o'clock. At 1 o'clock in the morning, your entrepreneur, he's up thinking, how can I make this whole situation work better? You know what I mean? Your 9-to-5er, y'all conversation is going to be different. So if you are not willing to deal with the responsibilities of a self-employed, or even yourself, if some people are just not willing to be with the responsibilities of being a self-employed. Being self-employed, you have to bet on yourself. When you were 9-to-5, that check come every Thursday. Wednesday night, if you got direct deposit. Right? And see, Julian talk about, he said, let's go. When you dating an entrepreneur, them flights and trips is business flights and trips. Y'all try to sneak a walk in the park in the middle of all that business happening. This is really how it goes. So if you are trying to, you got to be able to look in the mirror and say, you know what, I need a 9-to-5. I need a 9-to-5. And if you need a 9-to-5 personally, then you probably want to get with somebody who is a 9-to-5er. But here's the thing. Here's the problem that we have. And I'll say this problem is what a lot of ladies run into this a little bit more than men. Some men have this mindset as well. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of ladies run into this a little bit more than men, where in which they want somebody to take them off their 9-to-5. They 9-to-5ers, but they want somebody to rescue them, if you will, from this 9-to-5 and put them up in a certain type of lifestyle. And they don't understand that lifestyle comes with its own set of responsibilities, and that lifestyle comes with its own set of, with its own set of things that need to happen. It's not easy. It's not the same. So if you're a 9-to-5er, then you probably want to get with a 9-to-5er. If you're self-employed, then you probably want to get with somebody who's self-employed. You know what I mean? If you're an entrepreneur, then you try to get with somebody who's self-employed. The Bible talks about being equally yoked. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, you can have a 9-to-5. Let's be clear. You can have a 9-to-5 and still have a entrepreneurial mindset, right? So that means that when your 9-to-5 is through, then you're still trying to make stuff happen. Now, like I said, if you are going to deal with a self-employed individual, or somebody who's going to take you off your 9 to 5, then you have to be willing now to switch roles from a 9 to 5er to somebody who's going to hold, like Darren said earlier, who your job is to hold them down. That's your whole job. Same thing, fella. If you are dealing with a woman who's out here just making stuff happen and you ain't got nothing popping, then you going to have to hold her down. That's really how that situation works. You got to hold it down. But you have to become self-aware. That has to be the first thing. You have to really be able to be honest with yourself as to who you are and what is it that you really are able to handle. Now, once you figure out who you are, what you are able to handle, then you position yourself to be able to have that and maintain that. Because here's the thing, a lot of times getting this thing is not that hard. Getting it is not that difficult. It's being able to keep and maintain it and be happy in that keeping and maintenance. It's really what it is. Let's go back to Brother Rapper. When he's a struggling rapper, he may be quite agreeable and, you know, he'd be there with you all the time. But if he happens to make it, you know what I mean? If he happens to make it, then you're going to have to understand that his attention now is not just on you. Like I said, one of the silliest things I've ever seen is this is going to sound bad, but one of the silliest things I've ever seen is a woman breaking up with a successful rapper because he cheated. That, look, if you date a rapper, a football player, somebody who just all of a sudden got some money, yeah, some stuff you're gonna have to let slide. Anyways, Jill says I'm doing 9 to 5 and entrepreneuring. Where's a man that can handle that and be doing his thing? Yeah, that's the question. There says deal with everything you hold on to. Yep. So for the question of how important is money, money is important. Money is important. That's just bottom line. Money is important. It's not really whether or not it's important. That's not really the question. It is important. Money is important. How important? Or more accurately, how much money is important? That's the question. How much of it is really that important to you? Now, don't get me wrong. All of us want to live the millionaire lifestyle, or at least we think we do. But there are millionaires that's jumping out of windows. There's millionaires that's turning guns to their heads. There's millionaire wives that's slitting their wrists. So that should tell you that there's something about it that's not all it's cracked up to be. I believe it was Brother Biggie Smalls said in one of his orations, more money, more problems. Now, it's different problems because more money you don't have, you know, where am I going to get my dinner from problems. More money is not, you know, what am I going to wear problems. But it's a whole nother set of issues, a whole nother set of problems. And we have to understand that. So money is important. Once again, money answereth all things. That's Bible. That's King Jimmy. Money answereth all things. Yeah, money is important, but understand that not all money is not all levels of money is meant for you particularly. Some of you need to be happy and grateful when that brother comes in with his 36 grand a year. Some of you fellas, you need to be happy and grateful when she comes in with her 36 grand a year. You know what I mean? You have to hold it down on your level. That's the key. Hold it down on your level. Make the kind of money that you can handle on your level. Not what you wish, not what you hope, not what you just arbitrarily decided that you want because you saw somebody else have it. It's not how it works. Only 8% of the entire country make over 100,000. And $100,000 is not a lot of money. $100,000 is something that, shoot, you can go through that in 6 months easy. Just regular living. Just regular living. I'm not even talking about balling out. You can spend 100,000 clean and have nothing to show for it. Easy. So 100,000 is not money. It's not real money. But only 8% of the entire United States makes that. Let me give y'all some statistics as I'm getting ready to close. So 8.3%, well, like I say, 15%, period, make over 100,000. Only 12% make over 75,000. Only 12% of this entire country, and that's men, women, young people. Only 12%. Only 12%. So where do we get this notion from that we have to all make this exorbitant amount of money? Where do we get this notion from that the man that you're looking for has to make, over six figures? Where do we get this from? Because this is not based in reality. It really isn't. If you are young, get you a brother that's on the come up, and build with him, and y'all can bring in the 6,000, the 6-7 figures. Build with him. If you are older, find somebody that's on your find somebody that's doing some things, and y'all can make some moves and make stuff happen. And if you are older, find somebody that can help you sort out your pills. Find somebody who can help you find your teeth. Don't worry about how much money they make. Once you get to a certain age and you've done all the things you're going to do, find somebody who's going to, if you're a single mother, find somebody who's going to love and accept your children as their own. Maybe, like I said, he may not be able to take them on a private tour of Walt Disney World, but somebody who, like I said, somebody who holds you down one way or the other. You know what I mean? And like I said, stop having 25-year-old expectations when you 35 and 45. It's not the same. It's not the same. So, is money important? Yes. But like I said, we're going to have to be realistic. We're going to have to really pay attention and stop being delusional as to the amount we actually need. You are making a life for yourself right now, making your $40-something thousand a year. You're making a life. You got somewhere to live. You're not hungry. You're driving a decent car. You're okay. Why do you need somebody who's making over 100,000? Why? Now you put y'all heads together, y'all invest in some things. You know what I mean? Real estate is really good to invest in. Find a business model that works for y'all and work that thing. And by all means, get in some MLM. Listen, let me tell y'all something. This is what they won't tell you. Every MLM company works. Somebody got rich in every single MLM company there is. It's just a lot of work, and you got to talk to people. So find an MLM that's popping, jump in it early. Make your money, together, whatever. Invest in real estate. Invest, find some stocks, Put your little money together, find some stocks, get a, call me up. I set you up with a nice IUL that you can turn to annuity later on. Set you up good for retirement. Just a shameless plug right there. I can help you get your money right. Call me up. I got you. But let's stop being delusional. Let's become self-aware and just really recognize where we are and who we need to be with. And be grateful for what it is that you have. Be grateful for what he has. And y'all will live a happy life. That's really how it goes. So, listen, for those of you still with me, I want to thank y'all so much for staying with me. I know it's late. The folk had to go to bed, so they cut out. And I appreciate y'all coming and being with me. Now, listen, we have an event coming up for Valentine's Day. Well, not for Valentine's Day. It's a Saturday before Valentine's Day. Which is the 13th. All right. We're having a paint and sip and a 90s R&B party. All right. So we're going to come. We're going to paint. We're going to sip a little bit. You can sip whatever you like. We're going to paint. We're going to sip. And then we're going to have, we're going to go into some 90s R&B. Kill don't know nothing about that, but that's what we're gonna get into. We're gonna get into some 90s R&B. It's gonna be nice, real nice, real grown and sexy. That's what we're doing with 90s R&B. Yeah, so 90s R&B party on the 13th. All right. Will we have juice? Yeah, we're gonna have juice. We're gonna have water. You know what I mean? We gonna have grape juice if you want to do communion. We got all that for you, Unica. We're gonna have juice and water. Just regular juice and water as well. But come, like I said, it is gonna be on the 13th. Do I have the day right? I have the day right. It's gonna be on the 13th of February. The 14th is Valentine's Day. The 15th is National Side Chick Day. But we're gonna do it on the 13th. So pre-Valentine, bring your baby out if you got one. If you don't, come on out. Come on out grown. Come on out grown. Put on your little fit. Come on out. You maybe meet the love of your life at the Valentine's Day. Like I said, at the 90s R&B party and paint and sip. It's all happening on the 13th of February, going down at 7217 West Oak Park Boulevard in Lauderhill. The flyer's going to be up. Please, we're going to send the invitations out. I've already sent out some invitations. We got the page created. We're going to send out some more invitations. Please like it and share it. And for those of you, like I said, this video, go ahead and like it, share it, turn on the notifications so you know when I'm on. So you can come on and talk. And next time, don't be shy. Come on, press the button and come talk to me. I wanted to hear from some of you. Unique, I thought I was going to hear from you tonight, but you chickened out on me. And I'm mad at you. But, want to thank y'all once again for joining me. I'm going to go chill. I'm going to go relax a little bit. I appreciate y'all so much. I love y'all. And go ahead, share. No, don't be trying to come on now. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, okay. Okay, wait. We got somebody. Oh, if you want to come on. Okay, I guess you want to tell y'all a little bit more about the what happened? I thought you was coming on. You changed your mind? Okay. So thank you so much once again. I love y'all. Bye-bye.